Coming up on Star City News, are hate crimes becoming a problem in Lincoln? And find out why 18,000 drivers are taking a little bit longer to get to work. And one local teen is dipping into its own pocket to give back to the community this holiday season. All that coming up right now.
Good evening and welcome to Star City News. I'm Lauren Reams.
And I'm Bailey Hurley. A block of O Street is closed for road work from 9th and 10th Streets downtown.
The closure isn't for road maintenance, but a different construction project. Carly Jensen joins us live with more details from O Street.
Lauren and Bailey, the road is pretty torn up here on O Street, and it's causing over 18,000 motorists to have to take a different route. And you can see that the buildings and everything, they're building up here. They're tearing them down, and they're going to build a brand new hotel. The road is not getting a facelift, but instead getting torn up to take out what's underneath it.
Private development called Hotel 54. Or Block 54 Hotel that's going to be going up where these buildings are today. And in order to get that done, they have to demolish the existing buildings. And the existing buildings have the water lines and the gas lines still in service to those buildings.
In order to start construction on the 15-story building, the city has to take out the gas and water lines, which run directly below O Street.
And that's kind of why we closed it, because if we let the gas company go in first, we'd have to close it for them, then the water company would go in and close it for them also.
Instead, project manager Shane Dostal says they shut down the whole block for 1 week so that both crews can get in at the same time.
Surprisingly, everybody's been pretty patient and traffic has been backed up.
Alternate routes are posted online and detours along the road for the next week. The building behind me here, in the area behind me, and then the building to my right are all going to be part of this 15-story hotel. The new space will also have some retail area and condominiums. Dostal says make sure to always check the Lincoln Roads website to check for any road closures or road construction, just for future reference. Also, make sure when you're traveling on O Street to keep an eye out for all the traffic that will be happening. Reporting live on O Street, I'm Carly Jensen. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Carly. Governor Pete Ricketts says a federal program which helps the public with Medicare-related questions has saved Nebraska residents over $15 million. Ricketts said Tuesday he plans to spread awareness for the program to urge more participation. The senior health insurance program offers several services, including one-on-one counseling and public presentations.
And police arrested a Lincoln man after he attacked an LPD officer this weekend. 42-year-old Jumo Sikio crossed O Street against the light when an officer noticed he was highly intoxicated. He tried to bring the man to detox, but Sikio punched him and tried to rip his gear off his uniform. 3 Samaritans jumped in to help the officer detain Sikio. He was taken into custody and remains in jail for third-degree assault, failure to comply, and resisting arrest. And a Lincoln home caught fire for the second time in a month early this morning. The Lincoln Fire and Rescue Battalion chief said crews were sent to 3526 Portia Street a little after midnight. It's unclear how the fire started, but investigators believe it could once again be a case of arson. No injuries are reported. And an inmate has been charged after investigators claim he kicked a caseworker in the jaw. 22-year-old Matthew States was disruptive during lunchtime and refused to be put into restraints. He then punched and kicked his legs in the air, hitting a caseworker in the jaw, and then bit their right index finger. Police charged him with assault by a confined person and assault of an officer.
And a 19-year-old is spreading the Christmas cheer once again. Last year, Riley Ewing dipped into his own savings account to provide over 100 gift bags to people living on the streets during the holiday season. This year, however, friends and family chipped in, sending cash and volunteering to deliver bags. Each gift bag will include an assortment of items, and with the spare money, Ewing plans to buy and deliver necessities to the Matt Talbot and the Friendship Home. And coming up next on Star City News, has another attack been influenced by ISIS propaganda?
And will authorities be allowed to keep execution plans a secret? All that and more when we come back.
Welcome to the Adele Coriel Hall Learning Commons. This new addition will soon become the scholastic hub of City Campus. Enjoy the vibrant learning environment designed to accommodate and promote academics. The Commons also has a number of private study rooms to gather and collaborate with classmates and friends. Come visit the Adele Coriel Hall Learning Commons at Love Library today.
One wrong choice can make you feel like the walls are closing in. Sometimes, you don't know where to turn. Student Legal Services is here for you when those situations strike. SLS attorneys offer free legal advice and representation to registered UNL students. Don't let one wrong decision ruin your future plans. Contact Student Legal Services at 402-472-3350 or visit our office at the UNL Student Union.
The College of Journalism and Mass Communications is the perfect place for higher learning. Students have the chance to study journalism, broadcast journalism, and add PR. Our distinguished students have the best possible resources with equipment, professors, and internships. Coming soon is the first of its kind, Interactive Digital Media Hub. The future is bright at the Co-JMC. Why not make yours too? Enroll today. Visit journalism.unl.edu.
In 2012, the national percentage of adults reporting that they drank too much alcohol before driving was 1.9%. In that same year, Nebraska adults reported 3.4%, nearly twice as much as the national average. People know they shouldn't drive, yet they still do. People go out and plan on coming back home. But as we all know, everything doesn't always go as planned. Inform those around you about the risks of drunk driving.
James Danahay faces a hate crime charge after he attacked an Uber driver. The driver says he picked up Danahay up in the Haymarket shortly after the man started asking about his family and ethnicity. The Uber driver, who has an Arabic name, was then beaten by Danahay.
And while hate crimes are nothing new, they are something more than just immigrants face. Star City's Michael Snow has more on our story.
I actually spoke with a representative from Uber. Now, the company says these crimes against their drivers, they're not common, but when they do happen, there's a couple things that they do. First, they ban the rider from ever using their services again, and second, they work with local law enforcement in any way possible. Now, earlier today, I also spoke with Hannah Muslich, who is a student at the university and comes from a family of immigrants. She says these hate crimes, they're not a surprise to her. It's not news. What does surprise her is the fact that they're being normalized.
Under my administration, anyone who illegally crosses the border will be detained until they are removed out of our
Donald Trump has taken a major stance against immigrants, and that stance has had several consequences, including the normalization of hate-filled speech.
Normalized, I guess, like bigotry or hatred, sort of normalize this feeling of, yeah, I can say whatever I want, even if it is like racist or homophobic or Islamophobic or misogynistic. So at the same time, I am really saddened to hear that, but I've heard like other incidents of this sort of stuff happening, and I'm not that surprised.
It is important to note that immigrants are not the only people facing an unknown future. Several different groups have been affected and will continue to be affected. I spoke with Pat Tetro, an LGBTQA activist, who said the way to stop these crimes is to simply have a discussion.
I think you have to be able to have an actual conversation, which means that they have to be willing to talk with you. I don't think that you can try to convince or convert or condemn someone.
Tetro says her community just wants to be understood and accepted, and the first step is to know what they stand for.
To know what it is we value. And to act consistently.
Now, members of these groups said very similar things. This starts and ends with a simple discussion. The more the opposition knows, the more likely they are to stop committing these crimes and to start understanding their point of views. Reporting live in Lincoln for Star City News, Michael Snow.
Thanks, Michael. Classes resumed today at Ohio State University just a day after a student's knife attack on campus wounded 11 people. Authorities are now looking into whether the attack by 18-year-old Abdul Razak Ali Artin was terrorism or not. The Somali immigrant wrote in a Facebook post shortly before the rampage that America needs to stop interfering with Muslims, or by Allah, we will not let you sleep unless you give peace to Muslims. You will not celebrate or enjoy any holiday. Artin rammed his car into a group of people on campus and then got out and stabbed passerbys with a butcher knife. OSU police officer Alan Hurujoko shot Artin just 3 minutes after he started his attacks. And a federal judge deemed Dylan Roof competent to stand trial and granted his motion to represent himself yesterday. He is also being allowed to object if he feels potential jurors are not fit to decide his fate. Roof is accused of killing 9 black people at a church in Charleston, South Carolina in June 2015. He also faces 9 counts of murder and other charges in the state court system. His trial is scheduled to start in January, and if he is convicted, he could face the death penalty.
The Nebraska Department of Correctional Services proposed revisions to the state execution protocol Monday that would keep the drugs and method of administration secret until 60 days before the execution. At that time, the inmate would be notified of drugs and the quantity that would be administered. A hearing on the proposed changes is scheduled for December 30th at the state office building. President-elect Donald Trump says he plans to nominate Georgia Representative and devoted critic of Obamacare Tom Price to head the Department of Health and Human Services. Trump called Price exceptionally qualified to shepherd our commitment to repeal and replace Obamacare and bring affordable and accessible health care to every American. Price chairs the House Budget Committee and has long called Obamacare a threat to quality and affordable health care. The nomination is subject to confirmation by the Senate. And Wisconsin is promising a fast and fair tally of votes from a presidential election after a recount was requested by Green Party candidate Jill Stein. The state denied to count all ballots by hand, but promises a very good audit. Recounting in all of Wisconsin's 72 counties will begin Thursday.
And a 6th survivor has been found under the wreckage of a plane that crashed in Colombia earlier this morning. And at least 75 people who were on board have been confirmed dead. Most of the passengers being members of the Brazilian soccer team and journalists on their way to cover the game. The charter jet declared an emergency before it went down, and authorities are now investigating what caused the crash and searching the remote site for victims, survivors, and evidence. And even my North Dakota blood got a little chilly this morning.
Is the cold weather finally here to stay? Cody has your forecast coming up right after the break.
Coming up next on Star City News, Husker fans are hyped after a huge win for the volleyball team. And Mike Riley made a tough decision in firing a longtime assistant. I'm Dwayne Taylor, and I'll tell you more with sports.
Coming up on
Look for a way to give back to the community. The Nebraska's Humane Society Pelock Pet Adoption Center is located off of 70th Street and Highway 2. The Capital Humane Society is always looking for cat, dog, and critter lovers to help comfort and play with the animals as they find their forever homes. Stop in or go to www.capitalhumanesociety.org to learn how you can give back to the community today.
Good evening, Lincoln, with your Star City weather forecast. I'm Cody Carlin. Well, it felt cold today, but really we're about right where we should be for the 29th of November. It's pretty chilly out there though at 40 degrees, cloudy and windy. Those wind chills at 32 degrees rather, with the winds at 20 to 30 miles an hour, even gusting higher than that. And the almanac, well, that actually tells the major story for today. Our low this morning was 30, so we were about 9 degrees above our average, but then we really did not rebound much at all. Check out that high, right exactly where we should be at 43 degrees. But really, this is the 5th time this month that we have not broken higher than our average high temperature for the day. So it's been a warm November, but it's going to be a pretty chilly evening tonight, down to 32 degrees and cloudy. Winds out of the west at 10 to 15 miles an hour will make it feel more like the teens out there. So if you're heading out tonight, make sure you grab your jacket and scarf. And you better keep it handy for tomorrow as well. It's going to be kind of a copycat day of what we saw today, really about the same conditions. 39 degrees for the high tomorrow. Plenty of clouds, and again, it's going to be windy. Winds out of the west at 15 to 20 miles an hour, but we could see again gusts 30 miles an hour or higher, making it feel like more of the 20s. And then we're going to keep those cool temperatures as we head into Thursday and Friday as well, 39 and 38 degrees respectively for the highs. And then that high pressure system really settles in. We see a lot of sunshine, basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the way into the work week next week. Plenty of sunshine. However, temperatures are going to stay into the 30s. We're barely going to break out of the 30s for the next few days, and then we will finally get those temperatures back into the 40s coming next week.
So talk to us a little bit about the S word.
Snow? Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, so it looks pretty calm for a while, but next week sometime we are tracking potential for some heavy snowfall.
Up in North Dakota, they got 9 to 15 inches, and my heart just breaks.
Well, be ready. It's that time of year again.
Thanks, Cody. Coming up next, Dwayne has all that and more with sports.
One wrong choice can make you feel like the walls are closing in. Sometimes, you don't know where to turn. Student Legal Services is here for you when those situations strike. SLS attorneys offer free legal advice and representation to registered UNL students. Don't let one wrong decision ruin your future plans. Contact Student Legal Services at 402-472-3350 or visit our office at the UNL Student Union.
Look for a way to give back to the community. The Nebraska's Humane Society Pelock Pet Adoption Center is located off of 70th Street and Highway 2. The Capital Humane Society is always looking for cat, dog, and critter lovers to help comfort and play with the animals as they find their forever homes. Stop in or go to www.capitalhumanesociety.org to learn how you can give back to the community today.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Taylor. Let's talk sports. Holiday goodies shouldn't be the only thing that made you smile this weekend. The Husker volleyball team has taken the Big Ten title for the first time since their entry into the Big Ten in 2011. The 3-1 win over number 18 Michigan closes out the Huskers' regular season and catapults them into the NCAA tournament. Ranked at number 1, Nebraska is one of 8 Big Ten teams to compete this year. The Huskers enter the tournament as current champions after last year's 3-0 win against Texas in the final game in Omaha, and they plan on repeating the performance. Their first match is this Friday right here at home against New Hampshire. In men's basketball, the Huskers continue the season with the 4th place finish in the Wooden Legacy Tournament, which pits 8 teams against each other for 3 days. The third place game now puts the now 4-2 Huskers against 5-1 Virginia Tech. The Huskers lost 66-53 to end the tournament, but the team's just getting warmed up. They play at Clemson tomorrow night in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. And finally, Mike Riley made a coaching change by firing special teams coordinator Bruce Reed after constant low performance from special teams this season. The Huskers come in second to last nationally in net punting and 106th nationally in yards allowed per punt return. The position's currently open, but many Husker fans see a front runner in Tavita Thompson, who's been with Nebraska for 2 seasons and is in his last year as a graduate assistant. We'll keep you updated as details come. Hey, I'm Dwayne Taylor. That's your sports update. Lauren, Bailey, back to you.
The College of Journalism and Mass Communications is the perfect place for higher learning. Students have the chance to study journalism, broadcast journalism, and ad PR. Our distinguished students have the best possible resources with equipment, professors, and internships. Coming soon is the first of its kind, Interactive Digital Media Hub. The future is bright at the CoJMC. Why not make yours too? Enroll today. Visit journalism.unl.edu.
In 2012, the national percentage of adults reporting that they drank too much alcohol before driving was 1.9%. In that same year, Nebraska adults reported 3.4%, nearly twice as much as the national average. People know they shouldn't drive, yet they still do. People go out and plan on coming back home. But as we all know, everything doesn't always go as planned. Inform those around you about the risks of drunk driving.
Welcome to the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons. This new addition will soon become the scholastic hub of City Campus. Enjoy the vibrant learning environment designed to accommodate and promote academics. The Commons also has a number of private study rooms to gather and collaborate with classmates and friends. Come visit the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons at Love Library today.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Kennedy Stroder, and I have your latest in entertainment. The Angels have taken off for the annual Victoria's Secret fashion show. 51 models will walk the runway. Musical guests include Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, and The Weeknd. The usual Angels, Lily Aldridge, Alessandra Ambrosio, Taylor Hill, and Martha Hunt will be walking. Jasmine Tookes will be wearing the fantasy bra with $3 million worth of emeralds and diamonds on it. So if you're feeling extra bad about yourself, do not tune in to CBS on Monday, December 5th at 9 o'clock. Sarah Jessica Parker is opening her first standalone store. SJP announced her shoe line would be getting its very own store. Her line includes a huge range of high-end shoes, handbags, and most recently a little black dress inspired by the dress she wore as Carrie Bradshaw in the opening credits of Sex and the City. The store will officially open on December 8th, and surprisingly not in New York, but in Washington, D.C. In only a few days, Freeform, formerly known as ABC Family, will start its 25 Days of Christmas. A schedule of classic Christmas movies was released, and sadly, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation will only be played 11 times and Elf only 12. Good thing I've stocked up on every Christmas movie on Black Friday. Helen Mirren and James Marsden were Ellen DeGeneres' guests yesterday, and Marsden revealed his massive crush on the Dame.
In jail for that.
Let's get a picture together.
Oh, is he? Oh my God, look at this. I'm very red. I'm very red.
I feel honored that they would even ask.
Marsden was extremely thankful for his early Christmas present from Ellen and Helen. Lincoln native and third-place winner of The Voice, Hannah Houston, is hoping to hit the stage where her career took off. If you download the Voice app, you can vote for Houston to return to The Voice to perform.
I feel honored that they would even ask, that they would even put me in the running. I feel like telling Nebraskans about this opportunity is, they'll hop onto it really quickly. So I'm just excited to see if I can go back.
Houston will be performing at the Bourbon in Lincoln on December 16th and 17th, but no need to vote for her to perform here. Just pay $28. Coming up next, find out which reality TV star can still laugh at her blonde moments. Alexis will have all the details in social media.
What would we do if we won the Powerball jackpot?
That's daunting to think about.
The music may change, but we'll still be there. Music, sports, and more. 90.3 KRNU.
Welcome to the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons. This new addition will soon become the scholastic hub of City Campus. Enjoy the vibrant learning environment designed to accommodate and promote academics. The Commons also has a number of private study rooms to gather and collaborate with classmates and friends. Come visit the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons at Love Library today.
One wrong choice can make you feel like the walls are closing in. Sometimes, you don't know where to turn. Student Legal Services is here for you when those situations strike. SLS attorneys offer free legal advice and representation to registered UNL students. Don't let one wrong decision ruin your future plans. Contact Student Legal Services at 402-472-3350 or visit our office at the UNL Student Union.
The College of Journalism and Mass Communications is the perfect place for higher learning. Students have the chance to study journalism, broadcast journalism, and ad PR. Our distinguished students have the best possible resources with equipment, professors, and internships. Coming soon is the first of its kind, Interactive Digital Media Hub. The future is bright at the CoJMC. Why not make yours too? Enroll today. Visit journalism.unl.edu.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Alexis Fregoso, and here are your juicy social media updates. Talking about juicy, hashtag Chicken of the Sea has been the hashtag all over Twitter today as the 36-year-old singer Jessica Simpson looks back at her embarrassing moment 13 years ago where she confused tuna with chicken. Eat this up.
Is this chicken what I have, or is this fish? I know it's tuna, but it says chicken by the sea.
Oh, Jessica, Chicken of the Sea is the brand, but maybe she was onto something as she tweeted out this hilarious photo of a chicken on the sea. Way to fluff our feathers, Jessica. Goodbye, Cyber Monday. Hello, Giving Tuesday. This new global day is all about giving back through the power of social media. I like social media. Smile Train is the international children's charity that is looking for your help to give to millions of children waiting for cleft surgery. You can check them out on Twitter, or you can go to the website at www.smiletrain.com. That was www.smiletrain.com. Well, that is all I have for social media. I'm Alexis Fregoso. Let's go back to the desk with Bailey and Lauren.
And does Polly want a cracker? No. Polly wants a duck costume. Polly, a 6-month-old goat, suffers from anxiety, neurological issues, and is partially blind.
However, everything seems to be okay once he puts on this adorable duck costume. The costume relaxes him and even puts him to sleep. It's also used as his winter coat.
Oh my gosh. Maybe one day when I'm a successful producer and can buy my own goat, I'm going to name her Polly and dress her in a duck costume.
Your goat's going to have a lot of anxiety. That's just what you already know.
Yeah, probably. If I'm the owner.
Okay. Well, thank you for tuning in today. I'm Bailey Hurley, and check us out next Thursday at 6.